What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Zen.ishhhh. I'm your host, Carly, and this episode is about the energies of the month of August, our energetic forecast, so to speak. And our theme this month revolves around integration and the card of temperance. And the motto is just keep going. If I knew all the words, I would most certainly sing you a line or two from Keep Going by Rising Appalachia. The only line that I do know has been in my head on repeat since I decided this would be the theme of the song, and I really need to actually sit down and just listen to it again. I really love them. If y'all haven't checked them out, they have an hour-long performance from Preservation Hall in New Orleans that is amazing. It's on YouTube. It's free, so you should check that out. Anyway, I feel inspired by this theme because lots of people have been coming up to me. It's over the last few weeks commenting on how they can't meditate, they can't do yoga, it's too hard. And they say it as if it's easy for me. That's the assumption I feel like is being made since I'm heavily involved in this work. And it is absolutely not. I have to get so very creative to make meditation or yoga work for me. And it's still hard. I think that's also why I love it, because it holds me accountable. And when it does work and I can drop in, it works so fucking good that I'm not willing to give it up. And I think that's the whole point. We get a taste of what it is to sink into this state of relaxation and truth, because that's what it feels like for me. When I find flow on my yoga mat, I feel so aligned. Everything is moving through my system as it should. I feel very clear on what's happening in my life, whether it's people I need to apologize to, maybe people I need space from, clarity around a project, or where my energy should be focused. It's just it's like there's these pieces and parts of ourselves that are pulled in so many different directions. There's pieces from the past, which has been very loud as well right now. I'm noticing a lot coming up in our community, in my work, about the way we were raised and particular aspects of how we were parented, or for some, it might be moving around a lot, or not feeling loved, or not feeling connected to your family of origin, whatever it is for you, friendships, money. And I feel like it's very apparent in this moment right now how those things have influenced us. And it feels that it is hitting different than it has in the past. It's more of being able to observe this experience and its influence from a perspective of observation instead of activation. And the vibe is how do I recognize this part of myself? How do I recognize this chapter and no longer be controlled by it or consumed by it? It's really giving Chiron, and I think that Chiron is retrograde at the time of recording this. And when a planet's retrograde, it almost feels as if the visual I get is it's spinning in place. There's not a lot of momentum, and if there is any, it's backwards. So we're kind of reviewing. And since it's still moving, it's like pulling things from the past and bringing them from the present and allowing us to look at them and revisit them. And so this would be right on time. And quite a lot of people who are my age have Chiron in Cancer. And that is the home. That is the mother. It's the way we're nurtured and loved and cared for, and the space that we grew up in. And I've been having a lot of conversation around this, especially in the salon and in some groups of friends. And it feels so much like that is what many of us are revisiting. So all of this to say These are the kinds of things that float around in our orbit. The past, what we're doing in the future, where are we going, what are we working towards, who is needing support from us in this moment, and there's energy pulling us in that direction, especially if we're parents or caregivers or holding space for someone who is really in need right now. Yoga and meditation and really energy work, which we'll dive a little bit more into, brings us back to the present moment. To It calls all of those pieces of us home to our heart space or even our solar plexus, and allows us to be present with all of that without having anywhere to be or anything to do, and to just be with it. And especially when I find flow on my mat, like a good flow where I'm lost in it really, or found in it, I guess I could say, where nothing else matters except each blessed millisecond that goes by. And I feel like when I find that place, I'm not alone. I'm with God. I'm with the divine. A lot of times I feel the presence of a blessed mother type energy present. And it makes me feel A, that I'm not in this alone, and B, like there's something bigger than just myself. And honestly, all of this presence feels both outside of myself and within myself. What I'm learning in these moments of flow is that the moment, the presence, the divinity is with me all the time. I used to feel like I had to smoke to find this, and truly it does make it a lot easier, but I'm not having very pleasant experiences with that medicine, we could say. It's been a while, so I've kind of taken a step back from it. And I also think that's intentional as well. Like you get a taste of something, you and then you keep chasing the high. You keep chasing that experience, and I feel like there is a gift in that experience. And then there are tools that are given to us in those experiences, and the fucking goal is to keep practicing, to be with the breath, to just keep moving. We are currently in Texas right now. At the time of recording this, we should be home by the time this comes out. And I could feel this pull to be on my mat. It's not always terribly easy to get into the practice, but you use the tools that you've learned in yoga class or meditation or breath work. You keep breathing, you keep moving, and eventually, even if it isn't this divine flow that you're working towards, you're recognizing the way the tools help you get to that point, or at least let you get a taste of it. And this is such temperance energy. Temperance is being 1 foot in the spiritual, 1 foot in the human experience. And I think we have these moments where we're so human, and it's a gift, or sometimes really painful. And then we have these moments where we're so spiritual, like being lost in flow or meditation or plant medicine, and you're so in the spiritual, and that is the gift. And we bring everything together to merge into this human experience. It's not supposed to be perfect. It's not supposed to be easy. Because it's uncomfortable doesn't mean that you're doing it wrong. Because you're confused doesn't mean that you're doing it wrong. It means that you are a part of the human experience. You are enrolled in Earth School. This is what it means. This is the gift, to gather and learn and to practice and to play. Sometimes I get on my mat and I'm just like, I'm playing today. I saw a few videos on YouTube or Instagram or Pinterest, or I saw this thing in a class, and now I'm going to play with it on my mat. I'm going to see how this feels in my body. Because also, the beautiful thing about your yoga practice is that there's no one else that can do it like you. No one. You can be inspired, you can be influenced, you can learn the foundations, but then you have to play with how it feels in your body and explore further to find the practice that works best for you. When I first started practicing, I went so hard, and my lack of body awareness ended up really biting me in the ass, because I didn't fucking know how to be in my body. Like, I really didn't. I was so goofy and kind of awkward, and my posture was terrible. And then I started practicing yoga and loved it so much, but my alignment was awful and I hurt myself bad. I couldn't, I've said this so many times. I couldn't even practice down dog for years, like fucking years. I still can only do like maybe 2 or 3 in a practice and I have to stop. But I loved yoga so much that I broke the practice down to the absolute fundamentals, like standing postures, savasana, and then even broke those postures down further because I was afraid of having a similar experience in a different area of my body, that I'm like, okay, well, what muscle groups are these standing postures targeting? And if I started incorporating weights like resistance training, what would that look like? And then I dove into resistance training and then I hurt my back. And so I had to pull back even further and dissect what kind of practices strengthen your back. What is the proper form in these practices? And when you practice with me, we're not doing anything fancy. I am teaching you what I've learned so that you can be safe and confident in your practice, and that you can take what I'm teaching you, decide what speaks to you, how it feels in your body, and if you choose to do so, further explore the posture or the muscle group yourself. This is what it means to just keep going. You find something that you love, you find something that you're passionate about, your purpose, and no matter what, you just keep moving. And there's this stillness between Leo and Virgo. So in the month of August, towards the end of August, we'll move from Leo to Virgo. And I drew a picture. I drew like Leo, and then I drew a line with an arrow pointing to Virgo. And there's a stick person whistling and just walking from point A to point B, because that's kind of how I feel the energy is in this transition. It's like I'm going to enjoy just moving, being in my routine. It's like there's such a confidence I feel about what we're doing right now, what we want right now, but there's a little bit of uncertainty of how to get there, or even, I even feel that there is a certainty, but things aren't moving as quickly as we want them to. And so there tends to be a little self-doubt, or we're meeting some resistance along the way. For me, I'm creating a website, which really is so much fun, but I've never done this before, and I have such a specific vision of what I want, and I am not going to settle for anything less than that, because I know I can do it despite it being really hard. I fucked around yesterday and found out that when I am in one very specific part of the website adjusting fonts and colors, it's doing the same thing on the rest of the website. And when I was going to bed last night, I like checked in on the progress I made, which didn't feel like much, but I actually ended up making no progress because all of my fonts take up the whole fucking screen, and now I have to go back and fix it. All of this to say, we just keep moving forward. There's where you put time and energy, attention goes, energy flows. So if you are intentional about your time, if you are consciously rewriting the narrative of this is too hard, or I can't do it, or who the fuck am I to think I can do this, which you got to go through that to get to the point where you can actually catch yourself and realize how unworthy you tell yourself you are, or incompetent you tell yourself you are. It's not fucking true. And if you keep moving, that's what I keep telling myself. If I keep moving forward, there's no fucking way this isn't going to work. It's not possible. It's not written in the cards for me. It can't be any other way. And if I'm redirected at this point in my short 34 years on this planet, I will find a way to keep moving forward. I will live this life with purpose. I will have a schedule that works for me so that I can still be active in my family and not have to sacrifice time for money. This is how I'm going to live my life. This is the choice I'm making. There is no other option, and I'm going to make it work. And that's the vibe. We just keep going. We keep moving. We keep breathing. We stay consistent. We show up. We watch our inner dialogue. Period. We were watching the show this weekend, or I was kind of like in and out of watching some firefighter show Jordan's parents had on TV. And the fire chief Some of y'all might know what I'm talking about. They say this through the whole show, and it's work, don't worry. Work, don't worry. Work, and don't worry. And that, I fucking love that. I'm going to work, and I'm going to stop worrying. I'm going to be in this moment. I'm going to be this little stick figure that I drew whistling from Leo season to Virgo season. And when we get to Virgo season, she's so busy. She's so busy. She is busy, and she wears it really fucking well. She is busy, and she's still present. I see it as a person who is like present and making eye contact with you, but there's this shadow of like 5 of them in the background, like doing dishes, working on the computer, practicing yoga, doing breath work. And you can see all this happening in the background, yet they're still making direct eye contact with you and listening to what you're saying. I feel like Virgo is the boss bitch when it comes to multitasking, getting shit done, and also holding the fort down in relationship. So that's what we have to look forward to. So I pulled a few cards for us for August, and wouldn't you know, the Erykkah Badu song, wouldn't you know, wouldn't you know? I got on a kick with her a few months back, and I need to put that back on. Anywho, I digress. The first card that came out was the card of integration in the Vision Quest Tarot deck, which is the card of temperance. How amazing. There's a spider web on this picture. There's a little spider. There's birds. She's weaving. I love this deck. And the quote from this deck that I love is, just when it seems that everything has come to a standstill, the forces of transformation are most active. And integration, the card of integration, the card of temperance, comes after the card of death, which in this deck is the card of transformation. So we have transformation, and then we have integration. And we cannot fly through life, y'all. We have to experience the change, experience the shift, and then be with it and give ourselves the time that our earthly human self needs to integrate what we have learned and then move forward. And in this picture, in this card, she's looking at the tapestry that she's weaving, and she is still. She's not even working on it. She's looking at it. It looks to be finished. And there are birds woven into this piece, and then from the piece, birds are taking flight. And I'll post all of this online, because this is going to be a pick a card reading that I post on YouTube, possibly the same day that this comes out. So you can go and pick which card you want to, which reading you want to listen to. So that is the card of integration. 3 of Earth, 3 of Pentacles, is the card of growth. Everything you touch will turn out well if you just stay focused now. Excuse me. And this is such a work, don't worry card. In this breakdown from Vision Quest Tarot, it talks about gestation and even like physical birth. It talks about birthing your projects into being present, what is wanting to manifest from heaven into earth. And for some people, that may even be a child. And I know there's many in our community, one in particular that may even be born by the time this comes out. One can only hope. So sending love to all of my mamas out there. And then our last card is 6 of Air, 6 of Swords, and it's clarity. And it has a dream catcher on the front with 6 feathers hanging off of it. I love it so much. And I actually pulled 2 quotes from this one. Once you've stopped struggling with yourself, harmony and wisdom prevail. Once you stop struggling with yourself, harmony and wisdom prevail. And then confidently express your preferences around a specific issue without becoming manipulative. Confidently express your preferences without becoming manipulative. And the themes of these polls this month are confidence, patience, persistence, and kindness. This month in the community, we have weekly readings on Patreon, and I have another pick a card reading for, I think it's the 4th is the first Monday of the month. That will be on Patreon. Yep. Then August 8th, I have private sessions available in Slidell. I'm very excited about these. Get on the schedule. I'll put a link below. if you're having trouble connecting with yourself, finding that moment of stillness so that you can even begin to breathe and practice and call on. I feel like sometimes we take so long to recognize that we have let pieces and parts of ourselves run wild that it really does take the help of a professional to call all of these, to hold space for you to call all these pieces and parts of yourself back so that you can get grounded and figure out which way is up, which way is down, and find clarity. Then we have the second week of August. We don't have anything going on because all of my babies are starting new schools, and Ava's moving to college, and Olivia starts kindergarten, and then Lucy goes to school by herself for the first time in her little life because her sister will be starting kindergarten. And most of you don't know who these people are, but they're very important to me, and it's a big week for us, the second week of August. I'm sure for many of you who have kids going back to school as well. And then Holding Space is August 21st at 7 p.m. CST. That is a Thursday evening. If you sign up with the link online, you'll get a Zoom link to attend. Remember, if you are subscribed to Sunday Service or 111 on Patreon, you have a code so that you can attend. It is included in your subscription. The new moon is the 23rd, and then the 24th is Sunday Service. So get on that, ladies. Let's practice together, move together, flow together. Let's talk about all of the things that we are learning together. And I love you guys so much. If you want to see your more specific reading, you can head on over to YouTube where you can pick Integration 3 of Earth or 6 of Air for your reading, and I will have a reading posted for you. I love you guys so much. Peace out.